This is sentence structure, lesson number 3. It's going to be on combining sentences. I have just finished recording my progress on my progress tracker. For lesson 3, before you start, you should have completed lesson 1 sentence structure, lesson 2, taken the quiz, and scored a 3, 2, 1, or 0. So I see that I've scored a 2 out of 5, which means I know the next thing I need to do is lesson number 3. That's why I'm watching this video lesson on sentence structures number 3. I must do this before I move on to another topic. Okay? So the first thing I want to do is, of course, put my name at the top. I'm going to put my first and last name, Cheryl Donaldson. Then I'm going to write today's date. Most likely, students will be completing this on 4/11/13. If that's not the date today, make sure you put today's correct date. All right, let's look at this lesson. It says, combining sentences. The directions say, read each sentence. Decide if it is a simple sentence or a compound sentence. Write simple or compound on the line. Okay, let's look over in our box so that we can remember what those are or see a hint. You can combine two simple sentences with a comma and a joining word. And, but, and, or are commonly used joining words. The new sentence is called a compound sentence. Okay, so from my lesson, my previous lessons, and this little hint, I remember that a simple sentence is one independent clause. A compound sentence is two independent clauses that are joined either by a comma with a conjunction or maybe a semicolon. Okay, let's go ahead and look at number 1 together. Dad had been horseback riding once before. Okay, so I know that each simple sentence has, or independent clause, has a subject and an action. So Dad had been horseback riding once before. So my subject is Dad. And my complete verb is had been horse riding once before, right? And I don't see any commas or any other things that could be their own sentence. I don't see any new subjects. So I know this is only one independent clause. Therefore, it is a simple sentence. So over on the line, I'm going to write simple. Okay, let's check out number 2. Number 2 says, Anthony felt nervous on a horse, but he would never admit it. Okay, my first sign is there is a comma in this sentence, meaning that I probably have two clauses. I need to find out if they are two independent clauses and they make a compound sentence. Okay, Anthony felt nervous on a horse. Okay, I have a subject, Anthony, and a complete verb, felt nervous on a horse. Okay, there's one independent clause. Comma, but, I know that's one of my conjunctions, okay, and I can look in my hint box and see it's there, okay. He would never admit it. He is my subject, that's Anthony again, and would never admit it is my complete verb. So now I know that I have two complete independent sentences, so I know that they are combined with the conjunction but to make a compound sentence. So I'm going to write compound. At this time, go ahead and hit pause, and you please do number 3 and 4 independently. I'm not going to give you the answers to those questions because I want you to try it on your own. Go ahead and hit pause and complete 3 and 4. Okay, now let's move on to the next set of instructions. It says, combine each sentence pair using a comma and a joining word. Okay, so I know that we need to combine this two sentences with a comma and a joining word. So I'm going to go look at my hint box one more time, and it says I can use and, but, and or. Those are really commonly used joining words, okay? I also know from my previous lesson and the acronym fanboys that there are more than just those three, but let's go ahead and look at these sentences and see which ones we can use. Number 5 says, I can't go to the movies on Friday. I can go on Saturday. Okay, so I know I want to combine those, so I know that I'm going to make that period a comma. What word would work best to combine those? I can't go to the movies on Friday, but I can go on Saturday. Okay, that would work great. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and write in that sentence. Okay, your sentence should be rewritten on the line under number 5 exactly like this. I can't go to the movies on Friday, comma, but I can go on Saturday. Go ahead and read 6 and 7 and combine them on your own. Remember to use a comma and a joining word. Don't just put a comma. Also, don't forget that when you combine sentences, you need to take out the capitalization if it doesn't need to be capitalized any longer. Okay, go ahead and complete those on your own. Once you do, you are done with sentence structures lesson number 3. Hit pause now, complete it, and then you are ready to move on. Okay, now that I am done with sentence structure number 3, I'm going to come over here to my sentence structure row, and I'm going to check off sentence structure lesson 3. Right here on your total score, this is where Miss Antonsen or Miss Donaldson will, after we check your packet, all 3 of your lessons and your quiz on sentence structure, we will indicate a total score for you. Okay? Now you are ready to choose the next lesson you want to choose. What you want to do is look at your computer at the CST Bootcamp lesson. Okay? Remember that when you are choosing a lesson to move on to, it has to be lesson number 1 of the topic. Here's the topic, and here's lesson number 1. And it also has to be orange. So right now on my screen, no other topics are available. But by the time you finish this, there will be some additional topics available that you may choose from. Go ahead and choose which lesson you want to work on, and make sure you go get the lesson worksheet from the correct place set up in your room.